Alright, so another update on the tie bars. So both right and left side tie bars are done. Right side goes between this little 1/8 inch stainless bracket to left and right hand thread heim joints, so I can adjust in and out without removing any of the hardware. Lock nuts to this aluminum bracket that I welded to the charge plumbing. This will constrain the e-booster movement front to back and prevent this kind of rubbing that occurred before. And all of that was due to thermal expansion. So the aluminum side thermal expansion will be made up for by that vibrant coupler there. And then on the exhaust side, or turbo side, very similar symmetrical bracket mounted to the chassis or to the rear suspension subframe. And again, left and right hand thread guys, so I can adjust in and out. Going to the turbine outlet, turbine discharge. So I got to do some more finishing on the brackets to round the corners and make them look a little cleaner. I'll probably have them powder coated black. But all of this will control or limit system movement front to back. It'll keep the exhaust tips positioned nicely. And more importantly, it'll prevent the thermal growth, which the majority of it occurs in the exhaust system, from pushing all of this hardware front or back where it'll rub on things, because there's a lot of stuff back here and not much more room for things to move around. So stuff still floats, maybe hard to see with camera shaking, but the exhaust bellows are welded in. There's one, there's two. I've rewrapped some of the exhaust. I also had to add, because these guys act like big springs, so I had to add some additional exhaust rubber couplers there to prevent the exhaust from pushing over and hitting the charge plumbing. So before, when it was rigid, it would sit here and not move and keep a nice gap here. But now that these couplers are flexible or allow the exhaust to flex, this system will want to move that way. So I have this hanger, which was there before. That goes to the factory mount, and he's still in place. He's disconnected right now. But then the other one I added is this vertical bar. So there's one bar on the exhaust, and then the other bar is this bracket here that I welded up, and he bolts to the chassis up to the fuel tank strap mount and the exhaust hanger mount. So this controls side-to-side motion. So it still allows the exhaust to move front to back as it grows, but I can add 1, 2, or 3 exhaust rubber couplers here to define how stiff that control needs to be to maintain the exhaust positioning. And I got my little helper here licking. Millie's a sweetheart. So got to re-insulate the exhaust. And bolt things back together. I'm also going to insulate with just that standard black fiberglass wrap the exhaust outlet